You're listening to The Path to Divination, a sermon by McKinney, given on May 26, 1991.
If you would please open your books to Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. What I'm talking about is sacrifice. God gave you your body, your mind, and your free will, and in an instant, he could take it away. But that is not the will of the Lord. No, my children, he gave you all free will. You have the freedom to leave this place. You have the freedom to worship here. You have the freedom to question what you do not or cannot see. Is there a God in his heaven? I know you've been told that these thoughts are blasphemous, but I ask you here this morning, this fine, beautiful Sunday morning, what is blasphemous about seeking the truth? What if the God you internally question is not who you believe him to be? I understand the concern, my children, but fear not. For here under this roof we can say for certain that we know the true path to divination. And that path is a road paved in sacrifice. You will lose everything seeking the truth. And once you see that truth, can you accept it? Let me tell you a little story about my life and my own personal walk. I had a child at the young age of 19. The father of my child and my husband at the time was a good man. We were not churchgoers when we first met. No, we were stained in sin, lost in the darkness of youth. In the middle of all of this was a child who we loved dearly. When times grew tough, my husband Richard would work so many jobs to keep us alive, and one day I grew tired of watching him struggle while I sat at home with our son. So I turned to the Lord, and though it took some convincing, I eventually got Richard to come visit some local churches with me. We tried many and found this calloused mindset all around. It wasn't about God, no. It wasn't about salvation, no. It was about pride. Closing your eyes to the world around you and commanding a room full of people to hand over what little monetary value they had in order to get closer to what they believed to be God. We found nothing but sorrow here, until we met someone who showed us a new path, a direct path, not only to salvation, but to a better understanding of the world here on this planet, on earth, as well as the heavens above, and the hellfire below. Now, some of you here know who I'm talking about, and some of you have been blessed by her. Some of you have felt her hand upon you. Some of you, like me, have even seen her yourself. I'm talking about Lilith. Lilith, who has given us everything. And for this blessing, we are called to give her everything we can. Sacrifice who you are, who you were, who you thought you were born to be, and give that up to Lilith. And in return, she will give that to God. And she will bless you with wonders beyond your comprehension. When my husband passed, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was alone with this teenage boy who didn't understand what was going on. But Lilith placed her hands on our son's shoulder and breathed new life into him. And I'm so happy to let you know, my wonderful flock, that our child, who had abandoned his faith, is finally coming home. Lilith spoke this into existence years ago, and it's finally time. Praise the Holy Mother. My son is coming home. Among the howling and hissing wild creatures and demons, Lilith herself, demoness of the night, will call this place her home, a place to recoup and rest between her devastating forays. Hmm?